If the IRS is apparently shutting down, why should we even bother filing our taxes?
I cannot believe the number of people, and this is nationally, who are TikToking and videoing and saying, you're stupid if you're going to pay your taxes because there's going to be no more IRS, so why bother paying? The IRS, it can't go anywhere.
So this is the real tax guy, stating how are we going to pay for roads, schools, what did he say?
The IRS can't go anywhere. Where would the government get the money that we need for the services that are necessary for the country that comes from taxes? So the IRS is not going anywhere.
So let's say he's just ill-informed, because that's not true. That's actually completely not true, and it's been proven. None of the federal income tax goes to running your country. You hear what I said? None of your federal income tax goes to running the country. Not building roads, not infrastructure, not schools, not any of that. Don't believe me? Well, instead of attacking people, how about we just educate? Put out good information.
Sherry Peel Jackson. She is an ex-IRS agent, CPA, fraud examiner. She was working for the IRS. She was on the fast track to success there. She was doing very well, had received numerous awards for all of the work she did. And she realized that there is no law and that the biggest fraud was the IRS.
This is the straw that broke the camel's back. The Federal Reserve is not federal. How many of you did not know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal? If you didn't, don't be shy. If you didn't know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal, raise your hand. Most people don't know that. 9 out of 10 people that I asked off the street don't understand that the Federal Reserve is a non-auditable private banking cartel. They are collecting $36 million an hour in interest from the American people. $36 million an hour in interest from the American people. But the Grace Commission report that Ronald Reagan put out in 84, says that none of the money collected in income tax goes towards running the country. But the bottom line is it's not going towards running the country. So you patriotic people out there, you've been fooled into it. But the Grace Commission report that Ronald Reagan put out in 84, says that none of the money collected in income tax goes towards running the country.
None.
But the bottom line is it's not going towards running the country. So you patriotic people out there, you've been fooled.
If you want to see that full video, we have the link on our website. I've done extensive research on Sherry Jackson and other whistleblowers like her. And she is in my petition because she whistleblew against the government corruption. She was not only attacked, she was treated worse than a violent criminal in our criminal system. And I looked up her cases and saw what the federal government did to her. For this video, I hope this hits home for a lot of people. Because of this education, because how knowledgeable, because she knew it for a fact. She was teaching people in this class, this is why they got rid of her. I'm going to read to you, she is in our petition because I saw what they did to her. Let me explain real quick. When a criminal goes to court for multiple cases, this is what typically happens in a shrunk down version. Say they have multiple charges. The prosecutor is going to take the biggest charge. They're going to either dismiss the other ones or they're going to run it what's called concurrent, meaning all the time is being served at the same time. For Sherry Jackson, they charged her with misdemeanors and sent her to federal prison for 4 years. Why? Because they charged her with 4 misdemeanors, gave her the maximum penalty on all 4 and stacked them, meaning she had to complete 1 year, then start the 2nd year, then start the 3rd year, each time completing each one, treating her like a heinous criminal. And she's just a government whistleblower from within. And I say, Sherry Jackson is a true American hero. I'm dead serious. Now, there is a counterpart to Sherry Jackson. This former IRS whistleblower. Now, he's on the opposite spectrum. They tried to do the same and erase him, get him locked up. He beat his case because his superior on the stand could not prove that there was a law that made the average American liable to pay federal income tax. He got his superior on the stand in 2005 because he couldn't admit it. He was acquitted of felony charges. No bullshit. Then the government goes ahead for 6 years, violates his 5th Amendment, takes those same charges because they couldn't convict him, because a jury acquitted him, because he got his superior on the stand to admit there is no law. They fined him with 6 civil penalties using the same evidence. That is a violation of the double jeopardy of our 5th Amendment, and they still did it. 2 versions. And you want to hear the 3rd? Both Sherry Jackson and Joseph Bannister are in our petition because their life story speaks volumes in American patriotism, in having courage, being a constitutionalist. We are focused on that, how to change the system from within. And I'm not playing that he beat his case. This is his attorney out of Austin. Jury acquits former IRS special agent of felony tax charges. You know why they acquitted him? Because they got his superior on the stand. I'm telling you guys. Everybody's looking for the case. Get this case, use it as your evidence. 2005. Wait, guys, there's more. So this is how you end the IRS within the Constitution. You want to see? This is how you do it. This is how lawful constitutionalists, people who want to restore the constitutional republic, this is how you do it. You have to individually learn your rights. That's what a constitutional republic is. They're lying to everyone when they tell you you can vote it back in. You cannot. You have to have a well-informed population. That's why we're here to bring the education. So check this craziest third part out. You think the part about Sherry and Joseph Bannister is pretty wild? Check this one out. Most people have never heard of this. So you're gonna go right here to State Nationals Rock. You don't even have to be a member to fill out the petitions. Anybody could fill this out. You're gonna go right here, State Nationals Rock. Click the 3 bars at the top. It's gonna drop down like this. Click petitions. Beep. Scroll down. So we got a bunch of them. All kinds. This is the one that we're looking for. Click sign the petition. This is how you exercise your constitutional rights. If you want to see what it looks like this. Go over the petition. Familiarize yourself with it. Unlawful transformation of taxation into financial slavery. Did you know that you're a debt slave? Well, guys, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are. But don't take my word for it. Let me prove it to you. Check this out. The original Constitution framework for taxation was designed to be voluntary through consumption, not forcibly extracted through wages. See, through consumption, meaning if you smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, they could tax you based on your consumption. Never, ever was it supposed to be extracted through wages. You didn't know that? Well, I'm gonna show you right here in the Constitution. People want to say like, well, where does the Constitution grant taxation? I'm gonna show you, it's right here. It's all right here. 1, 2, 3. So under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1, this is the type of tax that is allowed by the Constitution. It's indirect, voluntary, and uniform. That means consumption. When you break all that down, it's literally talking about consumables like tobacco, alcohol. So if you're going to get taxed, it's because you choose to buy these products. This is what the Constitution allows. There's one. Now there's a second type that it allows. Apportioned direct taxes. This is under Article 1, Section 9, Clause 4. This isn't really enforced because it has to be divided equally among the whole population. Isn't that crazy? And so at one time, they tried to institute a tax on wages. They did. They tried. They took it to court and everything. What happened? No income tax on labor. It was upheld in Pollock versus Farmers Loan Trust Company in 1895. The Supreme Court ruled. So the Constitution was designed to limit taxing power of the federal government, not to expand it. Considering the founders had just fought a war over taxation without representation. Kind of like how they send our money overseas, guys, that is bad taxation without representation. They're not supposed to send $1 overseas. They only get away with it because you don't know your rights. That's the facts. Here's the crazy part. In 1913, supposedly the 16th Amendment, well, that's what they say. If you don't know, that's what they say. The 16th Amendment, it granted them that power. However, Bill Benson's historic investigation documented the law that never was. It was never legally ratified. Many states rejected or altered the amendment in violation of Article 4 ratification procedures. So what he did is he went to every single state. He collected the certified documents from the government and he figured it out. He went to every single state. You know what they did? They put an injunction on his book. They said he couldn't submit his evidence because it was too old. They put him in prison for it. You can read about him. You can read about Sherry Jackson. You can read about Joseph Bannister. You can stand up for your constitutional rights and freedoms. Only you can exercise these rights. No politician, no voting, just you. Just your rights. This is your duty. Join the family. State Nationals rock. Be the change. Sign the petition. State Nationals, we rock.